Alright, hello and welcome to Kerbal Swissram. Oh, oh, oops, nope, come on, you can get back up, there you go. Alright, let's get back in there real fast for a moment. And I want to show you, this is the second cockpit, of course, and once it lets me, there we go. This is what it looks like from the inside, so you can see there's no clipping on the IVA, even though the outside is ever so slightly clipped. I tried to make it not look ugly with the clipping. I mean, it's very difficult to try and have that kind of raised behind the other cockpit feeling, but I think I did an alright job. And of course, that cockpit is slightly tilted down, so we're actually going to go over to this other one, and hold on, F, okay, and B, there we go. Yes, I don't have my good mic with me right this moment, but I figured I would record this short bit just for the very first test of this design. I figured you might want to see it, you might want to hear it. So, pitch controls, as you can see, they are on the canards here. Not canards, they're the vertical stabilizers. You can see they pitch in ever so slightly. So you can see we have pitch controls there. They, of course, are yaw controls. And then we have roll controls on both the rear and the very edges of the system. This is my second combat testing save, so it's not the primary one. I'm not testing it on that. It's got this little here primarily for the look. This is based off of a F-18 Super Hornet, and I have no idea if it'll fly. Literally the first test, and let's go ahead and fire the engines and see what happens. Alright, now you might have noticed I have 4 engines going, even though you only see 2, and that's because I'm actually using that trick again where you put 2 engines inside each other. And that's because this plane is big and heavy, and I figured the only way to make it properly be able to get some serious speed is to do that double engine trick, because this thing, well, like I said, it's big and heavy. And I kind of... oh, I need to work on that. I didn't notice that I messed that up slightly. Oh, it's not that I messed it up, it's the aerodynamic forces are doing it. No, wait, no, it's I messed it up, apparently. Well, yeah, I need to fix that then on the wing tips. It's also possibly got some places where I might want to strut it. Ooh, I definitely want to strut those wings, because those wings nearly snapped off when I did that. Alright, let's see. It does not like what we just did with it. Let's try just gently pulling up here. It does not like going vertical. It's a heavy plane, so yeah, it did not like doing that. Let's see. Intake air, we're doing pretty good. It's just these 2 big intakes, but they seem to handle the needs of those multiple engines quite well. Yeah, you can see the wings are definitely being pulled up by the forces of flight. There you go. Let's take a look at those indicators. So you can see we got some drag, we got plenty of lift from all the places you would expect to see lift. Plenty of drag as well, unfortunately. The landing gear are slightly weirdly placed, and that's just because stock landing gear are not very good. And I wanted to make a stock version of this plane before I made a non-stock version. So this is what we have to deal with for the stock version. Alright, we're going pretty fast. Let's go ahead and gently pull up. Just gonna gently, we're gonna see how well it can take kind of a gentle pulling up. And it seems like it can take a gentle pulling up pretty well. Losing a lot of speed now when we're pulling up harder. I'm going to pull up as hard as I can now and stall it out, basically. And, okay, yeah. So this thing does not perform well once you get it to super low speeds like that. But of course, you wouldn't really expect much of anything to perform well when you get it to super low speeds and basically stall it, because that's what I did. I stalled the wings, and there we go. Yeah, so overall, I think it's all right. It's all right as far as a replica is concerned. As far as looks are concerned, I wouldn't say that it performs well compared to my other designs. In fact, I don't think it does. Although, of course, this is literally the first test flight, so I'd have to do some more tests and comparisons before I could actually say that. Of course, I also need to try arming it. Well, let's pull up a bit. There we go. Because we don't. Geez, you can see it's literally being pulled apart by the aerodynamic forces, you know, just slightly pulled apart. Yeah, this thing goes fast. Oh yes, and you can see in this one there's no clipping either. Unless this this thin line on the very right here, that thin line might be a bit of clipping, but if it is, it's clipping in a way that works, so it's alright even so. Yeah, so we can get to some pretty good speeds even at very low altitudes with this design. Let's go ahead and see how easy it is to break the wings off. It's about as easy as I expected it to be. Wow, that is beautiful. That was beautiful. And we have a lot of speed, so when I did that, this front piece is gonna fly quite a ways on its own, despite that. We're getting pretty good lift. Let's go ahead and pull it down. Let's see what happens. Let's try and now use this as a whatchamacallit. Lifting body. Yes. We probably don't have the control surfaces to be able to really use it as a lifting body, but let's try it anyhow for no good reason. Okay, pulling up, and yeah, does not have the controllability. I'm not going to let it impact, because that makes the game lag a little bit. Alright, so at this point, we're going to see what happens if we set up an action group. Let's set it up on 0 to these, to, yeah, toggle, and we'll do it on these ones as well. And these will be our flaps and spoilers for taking off. And let's just check that when they deploy, they're all going to deploy down. Oh, those are going to deploy up, so we need to invert them. And let's go ahead and give it a try like this. Yeah. Alright, here we are on the runway again. And it does tilt ever so slightly down on the nose, but I think that's alright. In fact, I'd say I quite like the way that looks. Let's go ahead and almost accidentally hit F12 when I mean to hit that. There you go. Now, I don't know what kind of effect that will actually have when we try to take off. We shall see. Are we, yeah, okay, we're going straight. Good. Okay. So, the front one is just pulling down. The rear one is pulling up. So the front one isn't really helping much. I'm not sure if this will break everything, because I think I've just made it lopsided. Oh no, it did it to both. Convenient. Alright, so we seem to have more lift now. Seem to. Of course, we have to actually take off first. I don't know if that's... Like, see, it's giving us an indicator that it's giving us a lot more lift. The thing is, sometimes I don't know if I can really trust those indicators. Let's go ahead and put the flap up. Let's go ahead and turn these inverted and put them up, and you'll see that now real planes it wouldn't work like that, but in this case it gives us more control, or not more control, more lift. So technically we should have a lot more lift, although the lift is at an angle backwards and is creating more drag. As you can see, we have a much bigger drag arrow right here. But I think I'll go ahead and set it up to work like this. Or I'll set it up to only the rear ones go, because the front ones, yeah, you know, just yeah. Let's go ahead and put those to non-inverted so we can take a look at it being strange. Yeah, so now it's basically fighting itself, and now it's slowing down too. Let's go ahead and put those back up, and see we start to gain a little more speed now. And let's pull up gently. It's a bit harder than gently. Oop, that's... Gotta be careful with these wings. Whoa! Yeah, and now we've just stalled it. Gotta be careful with these wings. These wings can and will just break themselves. Also, I need to make sure I fix... Actually, no, that looks fine now. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, it's just part of the aerodynamic stresses how things look at different points, because the parts are allowed to move slightly in relation to each other. Yeah, the wings definitely need to be strutted. I'm just, also I think I'm going to strut this structural piece here, based on how it's curving. And let's take a look at this. I think I might actually want to put more intake capability on this. Although I'm not sure where I'd do it. I think I'd have to have like some hidden intakes that, you know, wouldn't actually work if it was realistic, but work because KSP physics. I also want to put maybe a drogue chute on the back here. I'm not sure. I should probably put some sort of escape emergency chute on the back of the second cockpit here. Yeah, so I'll definitely put the second chute there, like I was just saying. And I'll definitely... What's this? Definitely... Oh, by the way, so I'm probably going to post this video before another one. You might notice there's some debris over there. That's from another video that I already recorded, and you'll see. You'll see. That was fun. I'm not going to weaponize this, not yet, because if I'm going to weaponize this, I'm going to do a video of showing how to weaponize it. But I'm going to go ahead and put that parachute on the back there. I'm going to change how these, well, I'm going to basically set this one to not be used at all and set the rear one to be used how I have it right now. And then strut the wings, strut this bit, and I think we should be done here. Let's go ahead and pull up. I was actually going to pull up a bit harder than I did, but then I stopped pulling up so hard, and now I've done the stoppie, almost. I'm doing that kind of maneuver they do, what's it called? I forgot what it's called now, where you basically just like pull up and kind of just throw your wings into the airstream and just like stop. Well, not stop, but you know, slow down quite dramatically. Oh, excuse me. And I've almost done some sort of cobra maneuver there that I don't know the name of, but I assume it's a cobra maneuver. I suppose I should see how these things do for landing. I should also set up some action groups for disabling and enabling the two different engine groups that are in here. Yeah, so I'll do that. That is a fun little stunt to pull. Alright, let's actually stop flying it and do those things. So something I just noticed that I hadn't really noticed before is how this looks right here. That bugs me. But I just do what I can to ignore the things that bug me that I can't fix, because I don't want to sit here going, I hate it, because of, you know, silly little things. Alright, let's see if we can get a strut to go across here that looks decent. I kind of want it to go from there to basically here. I think that looks alright. Yeah, it's almost flush. Did it only... Yeah, I only placed it on one side by accident. That's unfortunate, because I think that went rather well, and I'm paranoid that I won't be able to get it as well the second time. Oops, wrong button. And now I've got a fly attacking me, or not a fly, but a gnat, and that is annoying because, you know, yeah, reasons and things. There you go. Applied well on both sides. Yes, yes it did. Did duds. Did duds do. And we'll go ahead and put one. I'm gonna just put a single one, right from... I'm gonna go ahead and use the, whatchamacallit, the lock-on, snap-on feature. And of course, the snap-on is not gonna work right on this bit. It's gonna end up looking weird no matter what, which is unfortunate because, you know, I'd like it to look better. So let's go ahead and just hold off on that for a moment, because maybe if I start here, okay, that's the wrong. No, come on, there we go. Okay, let's try and get that looking relatively decent. Okay, and then we'll put the second one. There's no way to do this that looks nice. There's no way to do this that looks nice. Oh well, I'm just gonna put it. That is that actually connecting them? I guess we'll find out when we fly it. Now, is there something else I was supposed to do? I'm trying to remember now. Fix the... I strutted the wings, strutted that. Action groups. Action groups. That is what I forgot to do. Alright, I'm going to leave these as they are. I'm going to, yeah, leave that as it is, but I'm going to change the action group to only toggle... Which one is which? Wait. This one is... just reset it. There we go. That way I don't even have to know which is which. And I got a message on Discord and forgot to mute it. So immediately after hitting the launch button, I noticed I accidentally had the parachute in the launch stage, so I'll have to fix that. But otherwise, this should be just about done and ready and set up the way I want. Let's go ahead and activate the flaps. Activate T for going. Let's check that the steering works, because I enabled steering. Good, it does. This looks really frickin' cool, if you don't mind me saying so. I think it looks pretty cool. I believe we can go ahead and engage the engines. And there's something else I'm forgetting, isn't there? I'm trying to remember now what it is. Come on, think, brain, think. It was something to do with the design. Oh yes, I was going to say that this is actually based on specifically the A-18F, which is not the Super Hornet, but a... what do you call it? A twin seat, like, I guess, trainer model. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a trainer model or not. I did not read that far into it. I just know that the Super Hornet is not the, whatchamacallit, is not the twin-seater one. The twin-seater one is different. I'm actually looking at the Wikipedia right now, trying to find out what it says about it. See, the Super Hornet was designed to land on carriers and is a bigger plane. It also this is the part that I thought was particularly interesting. Oh, look at that. The wings are sturdy now. That's brilliant. Ah, the struts were exactly what we needed. The Super Hornet, you can actually put, like, it can carry 3 giant, well, like, actually in another image I'm looking at now, there's like 5 giant fuel tanks, external fuel tanks on it. Well, they could be fuel tanks or cargo pods. These things will carry cargo, they'll carry fuel tanks, and if you fit it out right, you can actually use an FA-18 as a tanker to refuel other planes, which is freaking amazing, right? I had no idea that they did that, or that they could do that. They probably don't do it very often, or maybe they do, I don't know. But I just think that's really crazy, and I can't wait to fit this thing with armaments because I think it would be fun to play it with armaments. And in fact, I'm actually also thinking about tilting these engines ever so slightly at a down angle. Ever so slightly, to give us that tiny bit of edge in pulling up really hard. Although this thing already performs quite well, I don't think it really needs that. But maybe, I might do that. I also might twist the wing slightly up. The wing is very near the center of mass, and so twisting the wing ever so slightly up would change the way the lift is distributed and give more lift. I'm not sure if it's a good idea yet or not. I still have to think about it. Ooh, look at all that drag. I'm thinking about it right now. I'm thinking about if I want to do that, because I think I do. I think I do, but I'm not sure. Anyhow, we're going pretty fast. Let's go ahead and see if we can break the wings off now. And the answer is no, but we can turn around, which is cool. Always love me a plane that can do that. So yes, I'm very much enjoying this design. Let's go ahead and prove that we can turn off the basic engines. Okay, that's not working. Oh, you know what? I wrote down the note to say that I put those action groups on, but forgot to actually put them on. So yeah, that's what I forgot. To actually turn on the things I was thinking about doing. But yeah, overall I'd say this is a pretty fun design to fly around in. It's a little slower than I'd like. The acceleration isn't as good. This top speed, well, it can go to a higher speed, higher altitude obviously, but the top speed isn't the best. But hey, that's why it has 4 engines in the first place, is because I knew just 2 engines was not going to cut it with this design. And for us to go fast, we've got to have the power. And to have the power, we've got to have the engines. Because that's how that works. You know, it's kind of obvious. That's interesting. Look at this effect. It's like in front of me. Wherever I look, there's this Mach effect. What? How come the Mach effect... Oh, loading into range, loading range. How come the Mach effect follows the camera? That's funny. Well, anyhow, here we are, outside, going fast, pulling up very hard again. And turning backwards, and then it resets itself, well, tries to reset itself, except I'm pulling up too hard. We're actually just, basically, yeah, well, duh, we're going backwards there, but I mean, we're going backwards falling a bit there. Not just going backwards because I turned it all the way backwards and then, you know, turned back around. Let's see what the fuel rate is used on this. 1.6, and we have 3,000 to start with. So it's got a lot of fuel as well. I'm going to go ahead and turn the engines down quite low. And we're going to go ahead and come in for a landing. I forget if the FA-18 has a big ol' air brake in the center or not. Because if it does, then I would want to use that. A-18F Super Hornet. Oh, so maybe, and named a Green Hornet apparently. I'm just looking at stuff. Yeah, I'm looking at a picture now of the twin-seater version, and it's attributed as an FA-18F Super Hornet. So, in that case, an FA-18, I always get a bit difficulty saying FA-18. An FA-18 twin-seater is still a Super Hornet, so that's neat. Let's go ahead and turn it around at low speeds. We're basically drifting in a plane right now. Now we're falling in said plane. Let's go ahead and engage the flaps. And whoa, this thing's stalling out. Holy shit. Yeah, let's not go that slow again. Yeah, I gotta be careful flying these things at low speed, it seems. Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense. Of course you'd have to be careful flying it at low speeds. You have to be careful flying anything at low speeds. Especially at low speeds, because low speeds are where you're gonna encounter problems like it just rolling to the right on its own, uncontrollably, in a crazy manner like that. That is weird. It's like self-stabilizing, because the thing is, when it does that, it stabilizes quite well. Like, I want it to stay like this, but when it's doing that, it's actually stabilizing itself pretty damn well. So, I guess that's a good thing. Let's go ahead and bring the landing gear out. Coming in at a totally conventional approach, coming in from this angle. Yeah, right. And note to self, fix the transport groups, action groups on the rear engines. And I believe that's all I had to do. If I forgot something, I'm sure someone will let me know. And in which case, I'm sorry. Oh, 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 and let's go ahead and activate the brakes. Of course, it doesn't have air brakes, so there you go. And gently touch down. Oh, 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 shit. Shit. Ah, shit. Be careful with your landings, as always. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in space.